have been a homeschool mom for 3 proud years to my now 5-year-old son, and it has been such an amazing experience and journey for us. We started when my son was just 2 years old, and we began with the Horizons Preschool for Threes homeschool curriculum. And then we also added in a little bit of the Good and the Beautiful curriculum, and that is where we were last at. So now I just purchased a new Horizons curriculum, and I'm excited to dive into this curriculum unboxing and just showing you guys everything that it comes with, my initial thoughts and my initial review, so that once we are halfway through the curriculum and then once we complete the curriculum, I can come back and see if my initial thoughts and reviews and expectations were the same as my final overall review of being finished with the curriculum. But there is so much here to unbox and show you guys, and I'm so super excited. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. If you are new here, my name is Heaven, and I'm a stay-at-home mother and a wife. I'm also a homeschool mama. So here I create some homeschool content, but I also create days in the life, homemaking videos, cleaning videos, home organization, shopping hauls, grocery hauls, and even a little bit of Disney content sprinkled into there as well. But I do have a separate Disney channel, so if you are a Disney mom or you happen to be a Disney lover, then I'll have that linked below for you guys. But today is all about homeschool and the Horizons kindergarten curriculum. To get started, I kind of just unboxed everything and laid it out for you guys. It came in like a regular shipping box, but then the phonics curriculum came in this box here, and then the math curriculum came inside of this box. The boxes also gives you a math scope and sequence by grade, and it goes all the way up for this one to grade 6, and then the back of the box for this one goes up to 3rd grade. But yeah, it just gives you an overview of the scope and sequence for basically what would be taught inside of that curriculum. So I will go over this with you guys. But aside from this, we also have the health set as well. It's one full curriculum. They have it on Amazon, but if you purchase it from their actual website, Alpha Omega Publications, then it's normally a little bit cheaper. And they also have like different discounts going on sometimes. So on Amazon, I believe this curriculum was $375, but from Alpha Omega Publications, I got it for $318 with free shipping. They do have it separately split up on the website so that if you want to just purchase math, you can just purchase math, or just phonics and reading, or just health. And then they also have different like Bible courses and things like that. But also, you can not only just purchase the subjects separate, but you can also purchase the books separate. For instance, if you just wanted to purchase book 1, you could just purchase book 1. If you just wanted to purchase the reader, you could just purchase the reader for $15. And then you could just purchase them as you go, as opposed to starting outright with a huge $300 to $400 bill. I like to get everything once and get it out of the way if that is possible. But originally I did consider just buying the phonics and reading book 1 with the reader one, which would have came out to $35, as well as the math book 1, which would have brought it up to about $55. I felt like I would have been spending more in the long run, because $50 opposed to $300 sounds good, but that wasn't even just half of the curriculum. That wasn't like a very small portion of what I would need. So if I had to spend $50 every time I needed another set, which for phonics and reading there are 4 books with 4 readers, that would mean that at $20 a piece, just to get these 4 books alone would be $80. But to get the corresponding readers, which are $15 each, it would have been $140 just for me to purchase the phonics and reading set, and it wouldn't have come with the teacher's guides, And then I still would have had to purchase the 2 math books. I think if you wanted to purchase everything separate, you probably could have done it, let's see, without the teacher's guide. But because this is my first time unpacking a curriculum from the Horizons this big, I wanted to have those teacher's guides just starting out. Aside from the teacher's guides and the actual curriculum itself, it also comes with a wipe-off tablet that your child can write on, as well as the marker. And then it also comes, they call it like I thought it was supposed to come with a floor puzzle, an alphabet floor puzzle. But what I received was an alphabet poster that you can post up on the wall, which it's, you know, you could probably get this from the dollar store for $1, and it might even be more aesthetically pleasing. But it's good to have if you need it to help your little one recognize how to write their alphabet. They'll have something to reference. So now that the ordering and the unboxing part is out of the way, let's get into the actual curriculum, which I'm super excited for. By the way, if you are a homeschool parent, or if you are a mom looking for another mom that you can relate to and connect with, I'm always sharing some helpful and relatable and realistic content here on my channel, as well as some homemaking, and I would love for you to join the family by hitting the subscription button as well as the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post new content. But now that that's out of the way, let's start small and work our way up. So let's start here with the health curriculum. It comes with 1 student workbook as well as 1 teacher's guide. It has 106 pages for 7 units. Each unit has a different or separate amount of lessons, but I don't see anything more than 9 lessons. So looking to be about 5 to 9 lessons per unit, and there are 7 units. This book is a little more flimsy if we're comparing it to the Good and the Beautiful workbooks. It's like spiral bound, but I like this workbook. I don't know, I kind of just like this style more so than the spiral personally. I don't know why, but I do. And then it also has the perforated lines if you want to pull them out and you want to like copy it, or if you want to laminate them or anything like that to use for future children. I only have 1 child, 1 5-year-old, and then we have 1 on the way, but she won't be here until July. So it's probably going to be another 4 or 5 years before we be doing this again. So do I think that I would save this for 4 or 5 years? Probably not. Not to mention, I don't even have a laminating machine, and I don't want to make copies of every lesson. So I'm just going to use it out of the book, because that helps me to keep track of everything. You never know when we may move to a state that requires us, like if we relocate, they require you to have, you know, records and things, or if you will need to ever in the future have proof of your homeschooling. Where I live in Michigan, there are no requirements or reporting requirements or anything like that, but you never know. So I like to save everything, and that way, you know, I'll have it all inside of 1 booklet instead of printing and laminating everything, making more of a mess for myself. This is a Christian curriculum, and with the health, I can already see that there's a lot of Christian concepts in here. And I love that about the Horizons. So when you open it up, the first page says Horizons Health K, God's Healthy Child. So that already tells me that there's going to be some Christian lessons throughout this curriculum, and that makes me happy. Another thing that I really love about the Horizons curriculum is that there's a line for them to write their name on the top of each page. I love that. So Unit 1 is knowing about me and my body. Unit 2 is living in a family. Unit 3 is getting along with others. Unit 4 is knowing my body. Unit 5 is taking care of my body. Unit 6 is being safe. And Unit 7 is preventing health problems. So that's everything that is covered inside of the Horizons Kindergarten Health. The lessons so far in here, they typically start off with a coloring page. So lesson 1 would literally just be a coloring page, something to color. That's probably going to link to the lesson. It teaches them about brushing their teeth, about things that are safe versus things that are not safe, following rules, staying on the sidewalk, stopping at the corners, looking both ways. It teaches them about different like emergency jobs and things like that, about like kitchen safety, like not to touch the stove, how to cover your mouth when you sneeze. And then it helps you identify the health partners, so like dentist, doctor, some behavior things, when you might need medicine, learning to say no to peer pressure, or learning to say no to things that are not good. It has a bunch of the different activities and jobs that, people can be, the different careers and everything, all of the 5 senses. And for instance, it has like a little poem. It says, blue, blue sky. Oh, I can see the sky. God gave me eyes so I can see the sky. And then there's a coloring page to see. And then there's another poem, red, red rose. Oh, I can smell a rose. God gave me a nose so I can smell a rose, with a coloring page for smelling. And then at the end of unit 4, it says, thank you, God, for my 5 senses. So these units look super, super easy. It does have like some cut and paste activities, so you would definitely need glue for it. And this one has food from plants versus food from animals. And so you would cut out all of the food objects and then put them in the correct column. Food from plants or food from animals. I think that's a really cool activity. And then it also has verses inside of the teacher guide that's not inside of the curriculum. If you would like to teach them like poems or verses, then that's in here. It's a very short curriculum, honestly, and very, very easy to get through, I would think. So that's pretty much everything inside of this health. Now moving along to the Horizons map. So let's start with the teacher's guide and give you guys an overview of what to expect. Horizons Mathematics K. Table of contents, it tells you it will go over in the teacher's book the organization of student lessons, the scope and sequence, where to use the mathematic worksheets, the appearance of concepts. It has a daily lesson planner, a development of concept charts, manipulatives, teacher lessons, and reproducible worksheets. It tells you the goal of the curriculum, the design, the development, a balance of the best method, an example of how to use it, and general information. Activities, answer keys, worksheets. So in total, it has 160 lessons, and there are 80 lessons in each of the books. There are more math lessons in Horizons than there is in The Good and the Beautiful. The Good and the Beautiful has 120 math lessons. This one has 40 more lessons. It has counting 1 to 100, counting by 1s, 5s, 10s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 100. It has number recognition, recognizing all families to 100, number writing, writing all families to 100, number value, the value of all single-digit numbers, the number after, meaning what comes after this number, the number before, number between, place value, 1s and 10s, addition, subtraction, money, telling time, calendar, number theory such as ordinal numbers, even and odd numbers, colors, shapes, comparisons, direction and position, graphs, measurement, units of measure, fractions, and sequence. So I think that it introduces a bit more topics than The Good and the Beautiful. It also tells you like what each, lesson you can expect in which units pretty much, and then it gives you a daily lesson planner of what's to come. And I think that this is good to look at the beginning of the week. So if you know you want to do like 4 lessons that week, you can take a look at it and see what you have. For instance, this is what the lesson planner looks like, and it has everything broken up for you. So I really like that it includes the lesson planner inside of Teacher's Guide. That's something good to have because I used to have to write this out myself. And then again, it tells you all of the materials and supplies that you are going to need. I'm already seeing right here, number line strip, flashcard, a place value chart, base 10 blocks, addition flashcards, number chart, number flashcards, objects for counters, a whiteboard. So it does not give you everything that you need. Calendar, days of the week flashcards. So there's a lot more things that you're going to need inside of this curriculum that it does not come with. That's some homework you know, that you would have to do before you get started with this, as well as more money that you would have to spend in addition. Count the children in the pictures. That should take a minute or so. Circle the top of the letter, the bottom of the cup, count to 5, trace and write. So lesson 1 is just 2 pages that probably only takes 5 minutes. Maybe 10, I don't know. It depends on where your child is. So let's see, circle the correct number, the first one, the last one, the middle one, and then trace and write. Count to 10. Lesson 2 is very simple. So just doing a little flip through, I'm seeing that these lessons are so easy. Circle 3 things in each row. Put a green X on the circles. Circle the squares with a blue crayon. Trace and write. Circle the yellow triangle. So starts off pretty easy. Now let's get to, let's say, lesson 50. The lessons are still really short. I'm seeing about 2 lessons, 2 pages each lesson. Some of them only have 1 page. Very short. Think that it's not going to be a headache to get through this if you're doing a lesson per day. -45 minus 1 with a number line. So that's good. Adding. Find the value of each set of coins. Maybe having some coins on hand would be helpful. So I might buy some fake money to use with this. But there are definitely things that you probably want to have just to go along with this. So I would look at this a week in advance, before, like, every single week probably, and get a general idea of what we're going to do. So we are going to be starting this after completing the full Good and the Beautiful kindergarten curriculum. We did Horizons Preschool for 3s, the Good and the Beautiful preschool curriculum, the Good and the Beautiful pre-K, and the Good and the Beautiful kindergarten. So we have completed a full kindergarten curriculum already, so I imagine that going through this for my son might be a tad bit easier because of that. So while I'm saying like, oh, it looks pretty simple and things like that, again, it just depends on where your little one is. My son just turned 5. He's only been 5 a couple of weeks. He finished up the Good and the Beautiful kindergarten curriculum just before he turned 5. But in doing kindergarten again over the summer, this just helps me to make sure that he'll be fully prepared when we begin 1st grade. So I'm thinking we'll be doing this for the rest of the year. And then in January, we will start 1st grade. Hopefully he will finish up with his 1st grade curriculum. And, you know, next summer or maybe next spring, just before he turns 6 years old. The reason I am doing this again is because we don't take a summer break. We only take like short breaks, like as far as weeks, and then leave a little room for if we ever have something come up or we go on vacation, or for instance the baby that's going to be coming this summer. I don't want to be diving into a brand new like grade level up curriculum that would require me introducing new concepts. With him doing kindergarten again, some of these concepts I will just be reiterating, and a lot of it he may be able to just sit down and do by himself, which would be very, very helpful for me. And so far, I'm really liking what I see with this curriculum. I've always liked the design of this curriculum, even though the Good and the Beautiful curriculum is really beautiful. I think, like, it's gorgeous. I don't know. There's just something, maybe it reminds me of my childhood. Like, there's just something about these curriculums, the Horizons curriculums, that I really like. It's colorful, straight to the point, and no fluff. Maybe that's what it is. So we're moving right along, you guys. Now we're going to move on to the phonics and reading curriculum. So first off, it comes with 4 phonics and readings books. So these are the 4 readers that they come with, and they are progressive, meaning that the reading levels get a little bit difficult as you progress through the curriculum. They do align with the curriculum in the worksheet and the lessons itself. And it has multiple books inside of one reader. So this one has 40 stories in the first reader. So if all 4 of these are going to have 40 stories, and then I'm just going to go ahead and guess that there are also 160 lessons. So plenty of room for reading practice, which I love because you get better at reading with repetition the more you do it. Books, they can be expensive unless you're thrifting or you ordering from thrift books, but even still, that can get expensive sometimes because you read a book and then you're ready for another one. So the fact that you get 160 stories, there is so much room for practice. I love that, and I think that it is something that we need. So we probably will not need to be going to the library multiple times this summer, which, to be honest, I don't like going to the library. And I know, what homeschool mom does not like the library? I would rather make our own library, even if that means thrifting books or purchasing books from thrift books and things like that. I would rather go that route instead of borrowing and returning books. And I don't know, I just want to build a home library. That is my goal. So I try to pick up books whenever I see them on sale and just add them to our library. But I'm super happy that this curriculum comes with 160 stories. Appear to be more like maybe a paragraph. For instance, this one is just a paragraph, not a full book, but still reading practice. So not a full book, but still some good practice. The Good and the Beautiful, they had like their reader books that came with the curriculum, where, for instance, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. They might have one sentence on each page, so you flip through and read the story, and it might be the same length, but they will be on different pages. But it didn't go with 106. Now we'll see how we like this style of reading, like reading in a paragraph as opposed to flipping through the pages. It might be easier because my son, he used to struggle with being able to turn like the pages. Sometimes he would be getting the pages stuck together, turning multiple pages at once. So this might help, limit that issue. So those are the different readers. We have Anne's cat. We have Mike's bike, Van's scarecrow, and Clem's snake. And it does tell you that it also includes comprehension questions at the end of each story, things to talk about in the story, so that you're not just reading the story, but you're going a little bit beyond. For the teacher's guide, let's start with the first one here. So this is for lessons 1 through 40. So there are 4 books, and each one has 40 lessons. It gives you, of course, the overview, the scope, sequence, the materials, and supplies that's going to be needed for the lesson, teaching tips, answer keys, teacher notes, and student pages. So that's what happened to the floor puzzle. So the floor puzzle is 26 letters of the alphabet. You actually have to cut it out. I was expecting it to be somewhere in the box, but you have to make it. So I have a wooden alphabet puzzle. So I don't think that's going to be needed for us. And we started doing like the wooden alphabet puzzles when he was like 2 years old. Just know that you would have to make it. So yeah, it comes with an alphabet story and an alphabet poem. The curriculum overview is spelling, alphabetizing, rhyming, vocabulary development, sentence structure, including statement, question, and exclamation sentences, puzzle and make-up words, phrases and sentences for accurate decoding, auditory skills, and a recognizing a spoken word, complete sentence identification, nouns, verbs, pronouns, apostrophe for possession, contractions, realistic choices, yes or no, could be or could be not. So I can already tell that there's a few more things in here that we haven't learned yet with the Good and the Beautiful curriculum. It has a lesson planner. Lesson 1 would be going over letter A. Lesson 2 would be letter B. Let's see. Lesson 25 is letter Z. And then by lesson 27, we're doing TH. Lesson 29, CH, and then 30 is WH, and then 31 would be TH, CH, and WH. So it does, I forget the method that they call this, but basically you won't see something, learn it, and then you never come back to it again, is what I'm trying to say. But it does progress. The first 25 lessons is going over single letters. Later in it, you'll be going to consonant blends like CR. This one also covers silent letters and the rules for silent letters, which is good because my son never really fully understood that. But I explained it to him briefly, so I'm glad that they actually have some, a few lessons, not just one lesson on it. Then eventually when you get later in the lesson, you have ending sounds like ING, short and long vowels, beginning and end. This is a lot of stuff for kindergarten. I don't recall doing any of this in kindergarten, maybe some of it, but for me, I remember kindergarten being pretty fun. Like most of the time we were playing or singing the alphabet, coloring activities, things like that. There's a lot of stuff in this kindergarten, but again, I love that. I love a good challenge. If he is capable, then why not? The Good and the Beautiful, I think that it does teach a lot of concepts, but it does so a lot easier. I don't know. It just seems like an easier curriculum to me. So if we ever plan to do both Horizons and The Good and the Beautiful, we would always start with The Good and the Beautiful. And then we'll do Horizons. Before we were doing preschool, when we did preschool for Three's Horizons, it was kind of the same concept as the Good and the Beautiful preschool. But we did Horizons first. We were doing it when he was 2.5, and he caught on very easily and very well. And by the time he finished the Horizons curriculum, he was more than ready for the Good and the Beautiful, and he kind of just flew through the Good and the Beautiful preschool curriculum. A lot of it was things he already knew. So I do think that the Horizons curriculum is a tad bit more difficult than the Good and the Beautiful. This is letter sounds, it being a vowel, beginning sounds, some tracing. Okay, one thing that I did read is that the Horizons kindergarten curriculum has a lot more writing practice than the Good and the Beautiful. It doesn't have its own separate handwriting course, but there's a lot of handwriting inside the course, and even though the Good and the Beautiful had a separate handwriting course, I still think that there is more writing inside of this curriculum. So about 2 pages per lesson as well. This one has a lot more writing. I'm seeing like writing on almost every page, and by the end of just the first book, we are looking at sentence writing practice. So that is something that I think is going to be great. Something he needs more of. Okay, I think that this curriculum is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to do a full flip through, but I did see a full flip through before I purchased this curriculum on YouTube of someone just going through each book and just flipping through it. That was like the entire video, and I did look at that. But I think it's pretty straightforward. Teacher guides are going to be very, very helpful. I love that there is a ton of practice of reading and writing inside of this book, as well as a name line on every page for them to write their name at the top of every page. Something that I think, you should have in a curriculum. I also love that the health curriculum is very, very Christian based, but I can see that inside of the math and the phonics, it's not as heavily Christian based, like not a lot of Christian lessons inside the book. I'm pretty sure that I might come across a little bit here and there, but it's not, and it doesn't contain like a Bible reader like our preschool curriculum does. Now, we never fully made it through our Bible reader from the preschool curriculum. So I'm thinking that I will just go ahead and pull the Bible reader back out from our preschool curriculum, and we will go through that Bible reader. And then I think that the actual preschool one came with like Bible verses that you can cut out in the back of the book as well. So we'll probably get like some affirmation cards and just use our Bible supplemental work that we have. Besides that, I'm excited to dive into this curriculum. I personally also like to go out and purchase manipulatives myself. So like where it says that there are some materials that you are going to need, I'm more than likely going to start at the dollar store. And then I'm going to, go through and see what we are going to need. But I am going to sit down and go through the lesson plans and look at it, highlight a few things that I need to remember, as well as the materials that I'm going to need. We probably have a lot of the stuff already on hand. But I think this is going to be a really good curriculum for him to work on through the summer and maybe throughout the end of the year. I'm going to see how he does with it. And then, of course, I'm going to be updating you guys midway through the curriculum to give you guys like another review of how things have been going for us. But so far, I really, really like this curriculum. I love the Good and the Beautiful as well. So I don't think like there's anything that I prefer over the other one right now. Not yet. As of right now, I'm always stuck between the two of them because I really love 2 of them so far. So let's see if that changes by the end of this curriculum. My initial review of it is a pretty good one. It comes with lots and lots and lots of learning. I think that is gonna pretty much sum up my curriculum unboxing. I feel like I went as much in depth with the unboxing as I could, opposed to like doing an actual flip through. And then I can't wait to get started and give you guys more of a review for, what I have here. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video or found it to be helpful. Let me know if you have used this curriculum and your thoughts about it, or if you're planning to use it. But that is going to be it for today's Horizon curriculum unboxing and initial review. And again, if you're new here, don't forget to join the family. If you stayed through to the end of this video, that is just a sign that you might as well go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscription button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post new content. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, bye.